What is up, guys? Welcome back to Cozy Talks. This week we got UFC Seattle. Today we got our Friday show, the betting show, where we talk about all the goods, all the fun stuff, all the degenerate stuff. Zeke, how are we feeling this week?
Oh yeah, I feel great. This is the best video of the week in my opinion, my favorite video to do. We're going to go over the entire card once again, but we're going to go over the odds and give you guys some of our favorite prop plays, some of our method of victories. We're going to give you ones I think are the best in some of these fights. So, without further ado, before we get into it though, if you haven't already, go ahead and like this video, subscribe to us if you haven't already, and then also leave a comment. Let us know how you're feeling about the event. And Joe, go ahead and take it away. And
So, for anyone that watched any of our videos, the Tuesday video and whatnot, you know we're on Alex Tainara, so we're only going to talk about Alex Tainara. Z, what do you like so far? Anything that you've been looking at yet, or
I
that you
mean, I
wanted to
really
look
like
at?
Alexia. I really like Alexia Tainara inside the distance. If that's something you could get your hands on, method of victory, or if that's just the play that you can get your hands on, that's something that I really like here is Tainara winning this fight inside the distance against Bruno Brazil. What the fuck is going on with my
Just
screen?
got flashbang.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, I'm right there with you. I think Alexis Tainara could get back because like we said, Bruna Brazil is her only loss. When these girls fought last time, it did end inside the distance by a standing guillotine choke. I think Alexis Tainara has just gotten better. She's gotten bigger. She's grown as an MMA athlete. The over under they don't really have one on here. These sports books aren't the ones they normally use, but they have over under 2.5 at -240, which is I think is very possible. If I go in the decision, -186. Tainara by submission, which is one of the props that I really like, is +230. Tainara by decision, -132. It's women's MMA. I think decision is going to be favored, especially when it's a little bit lower level. I mean, Tainara is ranked, Bruna Brazil's not, but Tainara is like number 13. But anyway, who knows? She doesn't have the power in her hands. She just has more of the grappling advantage, I feel like. So we'll see how that looks. Next fight. Adrian Yanez, Ricky Simone. We're on Ricky Simone. The money line's good for me, but I also wouldn't mind seeing fight going to decision at -167. I think that's a pretty solid prop. What do you think, Z?
I really like the knockout. I mean, Ricky Simone surprised us with the knockout
700. Shit.
against Basharat. So yeah, at plus 700. I would sprinkle a little bit on that, throw it on a little bit of a long shot parlay, but Ricky Simone overall, I got him winning this fight, whether it's knockout or decision. So if that's a little bit of a double method of victory play that you can get, I
They're
like
both
that play a
plus.
lot.
Simone's
Oh
plus
yeah.
money on decision. He's plus money on a KO. That's crazy. Okay. That's good to know. Going into the next one. Bruvo. I was starting to read Navajo. Bruno Lopez and Navajo Sterling. This one I really hope doesn't go the distance. I think Navajo needs a KO in here, so I'm gonna look at Navajo KO real quick. So Sterling by KO. That's okay. Well, well, maybe we're gonna fall into the trap of getting heavy on the KO, and it's gonna be a decision. So what is the Sterling decision? Uh, what am
Plus
I? Saying?
430.
Plus 430. Hey, it's not crazy. They called me a madman. Who knows? Over under 2.5. They have the under at -250. Fight doesn't go to a decision, -385. They kinda juice this fight a little too much, I feel like. I think they're not really reading the fight the way I think we are. Bruno Lopez's only 2 losses in his career are knockout losses. Yes, he's 14-2, but Navajo hasn't had a knockout since Contender Series. So I don't really know how I feel about the lines being this wide on those props. How do you feel, Z? What do you think?
I mean, I most definitely understand it. Like you said, Bruno Lopez, he's 14-2, and those two losses are both by knockout, but both those knockouts are coming from the UFC.
Yeah.
And Bruno Lopez's only wins, on the Contender Series, he got the knockout against the fucking tomato can, and he got a decision win against the tomato can. So
Yeah.
I don't really rank Bruno Lopez very high. So compared to a guy like Navajo Sterling, who we talked about, comes out of City Kickboxing, fights with Israel Adesanya, trains with other dudes out of City Kickboxing. I'm going with the guy with a lot more cleaner striking, which obviously Lopez gets chinned by the dudes with the most mediocre striking and Brendan Ribeiro. So I understand why they're a little juiced here. But with all that being said, let's look at our next fight, though.
An update,
Casey O'Neill.
Navo
Oh,
Sterling
did
is
it update?
tatted now. No, I was just saying, that's
Oh,
good. I said
oh,
update. Navo Sterling is tatted now.
he is. Yes, he is tatted. All the Kiwi guys, midway through the career, they just all get insanely tatted. This next fight, though, Casey O'Neill versus Gabriela Fernandez. If you did not check our recent video out, which was consisting of a mini breakdown of this
Mm,
entire card, Gabriela Fernandez was the underdog according to
there's a pick 'em.
Tapology. And at the beginning of the week, Gabriela Fernandez was the slight underdog, but now has completely flipped, and it is pretty
Oh
much a
yeah, there
pick
it
'em
is.
with
All over the place.
some odds book even putting Gabriela Fernandez as a slight favorite to win this fight. With all that being said, though, my pick is still Gabriela Fernandez. I think she can get it done on the Georgia judges scorecards.
Yeah, yeah. If I go into decision is gonna be your safest bet here. If it's a pick 'em, don't even throw your name on it on anybody if that's how you feel. I feel
Yeah,
very confident about Fernandez. If you watch the breakdown, you heard me talk about my opinion on longevity of breaks. Casey O'Neill is off on a bit of a break coming into this one, so who knows what kind of Casey O'Neill we're gonna get. Um, but let's look at the Fernandez decision prop. Fernandez by decision is plus 175. O'Neal plus 210. So even here, you can tell that the favorite is still Fernandez just by the price of the prop.
I'm gonna throw a little bit of a shot here, and I'm gonna say Fernandez by knockout. I
Mm,
mean, Fernandez, she dropped Kong Wing, and she
yeah,
she she tied up the submission on her. In
and
her
she's
last
big.
fight, she is big. She is very big. She's very muscular. In her last fight, she fought against a girl who has a fucking brick for a head. Almost finished her twice in that fight, but overall pieced her the fuck in. So I think Gabriela Fernandez is very live for a knockout win in this fight. So a little bit of a long shot. Just wanted to throw that in there.
Okay. Going to our next one, the big boys. And you know how we feel about big boy fights in the big 2-6. But we're on Tyrell Fortune, and the odds haven't moved from what I can tell here. But it looks like they added a new thing here. So Tyler Fortune is getting wider as a favorite, which I think is the correct side of this. I think what like we talked about, he's a younger fighter. He's got more power in his hands, which is why I think the over under makes sense. Under 2.5, over 1.5 makes sense too, because Tibera could get some wrestling going and really drag this out. And we could be ended up with the Fortune round 2 KO. But I think Fortune gets the knockout regardless, and it's a plus prop. We love plus props on things that we think are very, very live.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, 100%. One thing I want to mention real quick is Fortune watching some of his highlights and some of his clips in his recent fights, and he has a lot in his back pocket. One thing I had mentioned was his wrestling, but
Mhm.
also the way that he could find a finish. One of these fights I was watching, the dude had him up against the cage and went Tyrell Fortune had like hit him. He hit him on the feet a little bit, and the guy ducks down to wrap him up for a double leg. Tyrell Fortune's still on top, piecing him in. The guy gets up to lift Tyrell Fortune up. Tyrell Fortune knees him straight in the fucking face, like he doesn't even have his legs tied up. So I really see that kind of playing out for Tybura, kind of getting him up against the cage and seeing that display from Fortune, knowing that he is confident being in any type of position, whether it's up against the cage, a big ass dude up against you, you're still finding a flush powerful strike like that to get a knockout finish.
Mm.
I feel pretty confident to say Tyrell Fortune will eventually find a knockout finish because I agree with Joe. Tybura could prolong this just a little bit. We could possibly see a round two, and I really hope not a round three finish because if it does go to round three, buckle
That's
up for a decision win, a stinky ass decision win, which I would even care
mm.
if Tyrell Fortune were to win. It's a big boy fight and it's going to decision. But this next fight, though, I don't think it's gonna go to decision. I don't think it's gonna go to decision at all. My pick in this fight is Chase Hooper. Both of us got Chase Hooper. He's one of our locks of the
Minus
week.
300?
And yeah, it looks like Chase Hooper's line has increased quite a bit. At the beginning of the week on some of the sports books I was looking at, he was at like a minus 225. Chase Hooper, though, I really like his jujitsu. I like he's very crafty on the ground. Give me Chase Hooper to get this win by submission.
Hooper submission. Plus 225? Plus 225 on a guy who's shown really good grappling? And yeah, I agree with Z here on this prop because like I talked about in the breakdown, he's the more experienced guy. We've seen him grow, we've seen him try new things. Whether or not it's failed, we've seen him try it and we know what he knows he does best. So why go away from that? Don't stand and bang with Gibson if you don't have to. Go to your bread and butter. We know that you are an excellent grappler. And yeah, I think he's gonna get on his horse here, look for a takedown early, and get out of there with his hand raised off of a
Oh yeah.
submission win. Maybe get a 100K bonus, depending on how this card looks. He could be one of the guys with his name in that hat. But yeah, I agree. Next one. This is the last fight for the prelims, I think, is why it's broken up like this. But Ignacio Bahamondes and Tofik Musayev. We're both on Bahamondes. We're on him to get this done inside the distance more than likely. Musayev has just been on a bit of another guy that's been on a break for a long time. Is coming back and he's getting a young Bahamondes. And the prop that I have been eyeballing, funny enough, is the submission prop in this one because I just like his ground game. I think if he's an offensive wrestler, I think he can do a lot of interesting things here from a top mount. Bahamondes by sub is 430. Bahamondes by
That's the
KO is plus 188.
see,
What's his decision?
I just want to mention real quick, the Bahaman is subbed is pretty fucking juicy. Pretty juicy.
Why are all his lines are like super plus when he's like a heavy favorite?
So I just want to say one thing real quick. We saw the exact same thing in Chase Hooper. It would not be a terrible idea if you're one of those dudes who has quite a bit of money. I mean, throw $100 on each of those method of victories. You're, in my opinion, you're probably guaranteed either on the Hooper fight or on the Bahamondes fight. You know, I'm not. I feel very confident in Chase Hooper. Very, very, very confident in Chase Hooper.
Hmm.
But at the end of the day, it's MMA. I'm not trying to like backtrack here or anything. But Lance Gibson, he is a very powerful dude, as I know I've seen in some of the clips. I just want to mention that real quick. I don't want to be here and like say like I'm hella confident in this, but I feel very confident in Bahamondes getting a finish. I feel more confident in
Yeah,
Bahamondes getting a finish in this fight. Sorry, I'm kind of ranting,
you're good.
yapping just a little bit, but
Certified yappa. Let's get into the next one though. Let's open up our main card. Z got Kyle Nelson, Terrence McKinney. What do you got for us?
I got oh, sorry,
Yeah,
I got
what?
Terrence McKinney. I got Terrence McKinney round one. I think Terrence McKinney could get it done in round one. Regardless of what he said, Joe had mentioned that McKinney was in an interview and he had talked patient. Maybe that's just him being patient and waiting for his opponent to come to him first and
Oh,
not him go to his opponent first.
mhm.
So, I mean, regardless though, one thing that we had mentioned was he has 16 wins all in the first round. All in the first round. This guy is very consistent. He's either goes in there, he gets the kill done, or he gets killed himself. So I think Terrence McKinney goes in there and he gets it done real quick, real early.
Okay.
And I really like the inside the distance and like Joe just highlighted the submission win. I mean, he wrapped up Slava Claus, got him in a tight ass fucking top mount guillotine, and Slava Claus stood no chance. Terrence McKinney submission or TKO, in my opinion.
What's fight not going oh, bro, look at that. Minus 1250 on fight not going the distance. Oh, no.
To be fair,
That makes sense,
it
obviously.
makes sense. It makes sense. This is one of the fights where I could be like, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, I could say the same thing for Mario Pinto and Freddie Vidal, but
You mean Franco?
this, or I thought it was Freddie Vidal.
That's the guy who Franco fought.
Oh, Franco
Yes,
Felipe.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Sorry. Franco Felipe and Mario
Sorry.
Pinto. I mean, that was like minus Mario Pinto was plus 1,000 to win by decision. So,
Yeah, if this goes decision, then I'm hanging it up, boys.
yeah.
With that being said, let's go to the next one. Got Mansour Malik and Yusri Belgori. Over 1.5 minus 200. Over 2.5 is plus money. Okay, I found what I want already. Plus 2.5, or yeah, over 2.5. Because what is there a favorite
Or why
on
don't
a
why don't
finish?
you look at a why don't you look at a fight starts round 2?
Where's that? Let's see. Let's go look.
It might be towards the bottom.
Is that where they usually do it?
Fight.
Let me know if I passed it. Curious. Oh, well, anyway, okay.
No.
Fight starts round 2, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or no, go down, go down. It has like round fight doesn't end in yeah, fight doesn't end in round 1.
They don't have anything for it.
Oh, the hell it don't.
Yeah, no. Nowhere. Fight does end in round 2. Oh, well, yeah, they just don't have it. But anyway, yeah, so I think the over 2.5 is a good line here. Uh, I think these guys are gonna probably fight this one safe. And I think Mansoor, like I talked about, is gonna be more of the guy initiating a lot of clinches, keeping it tight. He does have the longer reach, which is kind of interesting. He has a 4-inch height disadvantage, but his reach is longer. So I think he's gonna do a lot more of the holding here to keep the tall guy at bay. Um, so let's see. Abdul Malik by decision is
390.
390. What do they think? They're thinking KO. Both these guys are pretty low on the KO. Obviously, a submission for Abdul Malik isn't a crazy thought. He
Oh,
choked out
it,
Trocoli, the standing gilly. But if you got a standing gilly on Belgori, that'd be some crazy shit. That's not happening. Spider monkey.
yeah, I really do think this fight doesn't go to decision. I think regardless, one of these guys will get the upper hand as
Mm,
this fight goes on. I mean, we saw that with against Bekoyev, Mansoor. Had a little bit of a tough outing against Nick Klein when we saw him fight in Seattle.
mm.
He ended up getting Nick Klein out in round 2, but he ended up absolutely bitching Nick Klein when that time came. So I feel like we'll see that in this fight.
Over one and
And
a
I
half's
think
not
it'll
bad.
be over 1.5 is not bad at
That's
all.
probably, I mean, that's probably
But
the safer play.
to be fair, though, I really do like the over 2.5. I do see this fight going quite a while. Um, I don't know though. I don't know. I know both these guys are very violent. One thing I want to mention is Yuzuri fights and he trains with Alex Pereira and Glover Teixeira. The fact that Glover Teixeira has his hands on Yuzuri, I mean,
Scary.
look at Poatan. Look at what Poatan ended up going and doing. So I guess we'll see. I mean, I'm just gonna mention this real quick. At the beginning of the week, I was on the theory, but I feel more confident in picking Mansoor having the MMA experience.
Yeah.
So, I mean, regardless, I expect violence in this fight. And I expect violence in this next fight, which is Leron Douglas versus Julian Juicy J. Erosa. I'm going to go with the dude who is the underdog and he's fighting at home.
He's only getting
Give me
wider.
Julian Erosa. Give me Julian Erosa to get it done. I mean, I'll sprinkle a little bit on Julian Erosa by submission or by knockout. Julian Erosa inside the distance is very live. Julian
By
Erosa
decisions
as the
plus
pick.
1050, bro.
Yeah, that is insane. I mean, regardless, what we've seen from Douglas, what we've seen that he's capable of doing, he is a very violent, very heavy striker. But Juicy J, we've seen him perform very well in some of these situations against a guy who is very powerful, clean striking, very crafty. And I mean, look at Juicy J's last fight against Michael Costa. So Yeah, give me Julian Erosa. I mean, his underdog price is just too pretty to me.
Yeah, yeah, we're not saying that Douglas is a can by any means. He's just a debut guy, and you can only rate debut guys so high. Uh, you know, he is good, you know, he's on the same level as Vallejos from what I can say, just because he knocked out Teague, right? Vallejos knocked out Teague. Who knows what he's gonna be inside the UFC? Junior Rosa is a tough test. He is gonna be an interesting one. But, yeah, let's move on to the next one. Michael Chiesa, Nico Price. Oh, it's a tough one, Z.
I'm not gonna lie, it is insane seeing
Minus 850's
the price.
gross. What? They must have watched our Tuesday video, and that's why the lines got so wide, huh? Yeah. That's
Probably.
crazy. That is crazy. I don't that just scares me. That scares me into a trap a little bit more. But, yeah, Chiesa sub is obviously the favorite because if this hits the ground, it's not getting off the ground. I wanna know what a decision looks like. I don't believe this would go decision. Plus 220. Yes, the knockout is too much of a long shot. His striking is pretty shit. And I think Price has the best chance on the feet. But man, these really suck. Fight not going the distance. I don't know. Some of these lines kind of stink. Fight not going the distance probably makes the most sense to me, just because of the trend of what we talked about, where Tico Price already fought a guy that was on his retirement fight and he got put out.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, the way he got put out too, like they were like standing, they were like this. He was like throwing some punches in the pocket,
Yeah,
and then Robbie Lawler just uh, uh, and Nico Price just fucking just
he's
dropped,
yeah.
just dropped like he was dead. And I
Mhm.
mean, he was completely out. So Michael Chies's striking could be a little poo poo, but is Nico Price's chin the same way? Either way,
6 week chin.
exactly 6 week shake after just getting knocked out, after just losing by TKO.
Yeah.
So
Are you
I
saying it's worth a
mean,
sprinkle?
it's worth a sprinkle to throw a little bit on Chiesa TKO. You know, we're getting the retirement fight. We're getting the retirement
Go
fight
balls to the
of a
wall,
Mike
bro.
of a local Michael Chiesa fighting at home. Fighting at home for his last fight on an already pretty legendary career. On
Emotions
a
are gonna be
dude who
high.
on a dude who has cemented his name in the UFC. You
Hmm.
know, the ultimate fighter winner. We've seen him be on multiple commentator teams. We've seen him be at other MMA events and be the announcer, be the commentator. Michael Chiesa is one of the legends of the sport. You know, some people may not agree with that. You know, they think when we say legends, they think of like John Jones, Sean O'Malley.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah,
keep on yapping, keep
keep
on
on
ranting.
yapping. Yeah. Let's get into the
I got
co-main.
I got Michael Chiesa. Shut up, Joe. I wasn't
I'm
done. I got
sorry, I'm
Michael Chiesa inside
sorry.
the distance. I'm gonna sprinkle a little bit
Yeah, you're
on the
taking this money
KO
line.
TKO.
Yeah.
I mean, anyways, like Joe was saying, let's get into the next fight of the night, which is also the co-main of the night, and it is a women's fight. It is a women's fight, and I am not disappointed. I
It's a
am
good
not
one.
disappointed to get this women's fight for our co-main fight. Macy Barber, Alexa Grasso. Macy Barber is the slight favorite against the former
Oof.
champ Alexa Grasso.
Got way
It
wider.
looks like it's growing. It looks like the favorite line for Macy Barber has grown. Take us to the decision because it is a women's fight. I mean, the likelihood of this not going to decision, it's less than 50%. So give me Macy Barber by decision. I mean, is that price that pretty? No, but
Ew.
it is the most likely outcome in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, this is one of those fights where you're probably not gonna make a decent living or a decent winning here. A lot of the legs in this one, I think, would just be great parlay pieces, right? Looking at fight going to a decision, minus 360 is a good leg. Um, like we just talked about. even if you trust in Barber decision is a good leg. It's even a good single because it's basically double your money. Yeah, I feel good about this one. I think it's pretty easy to look
If
at.
if you want to be a degenerate, look at Macy Barber by TKO. Look at Alexa Grasso by submission. Alexa Grasso has submitted probably one of the best women's MMA fighters currently, Valentina Shevchenko. You know, I'm just saying, just putting that out there. It
Just
is only a
saying.
3 round fight. It is only a 3 round fight. You know, if it
Yeah.
is a 5 rounder, a finish would be more live. But in a 3 round fight, I am eyeing the Macy Barber decision. Just wanted to mention those lines right there because those are pretty juicy odds. Barber, we've seen her turn fights into a fucking bloodbath. So
All
just
right.
wanted to put that out there.
All right.
Take
All
us
right.
into the last one, Joe.
All right, guys. We're getting into the main event now. If you guys haven't already, before we do that, make sure you guys like the video, do all the good things you need to do as watchers of our content. We appreciate it a lot, guys. That being said, let's get into the main event. Israel, lifestyle bender, Adesanya, Joe, body bags, Pyfer. The line's growing. Typology had it closer. Originally opened as an underdog, and then come fight night, he looks like he is going to be a bit of a favorite. Okay. Well, over under 2.5 is minus 240. Over under 4.5 plus 107. They think this is going to be under 4.5, which I think if you're on the Pyfer side, you probably agree with. I'm on the Izzy side, so I think I see that and I'm like, Izzy decision because that's the side I'm on, right? This is a storyline fight. There's a lot of things you can make of this fight. Z, what do you think?
I mean, I agree with you. You know, if you were looking at this fight and you didn't know a whole lot about either of these dudes' careers, but I mean, obviously you know about Izzy. I mean, you know, one thing we mentioned is Israel is literally a legend of the sport. You would feel safer betting on the side of Israel Adesanya. You know, former champ, he has multiple title defenses. He is a very, very high IQ, very intelligent striker. I just like the up and comer. I like the prospect. I like the younger guy. You know, I think he is still young in his career, you know, has
Mhm,
still a lot more to prove. And I mean, what not better to do so against a former champ and one of the legends in the sport, Israel Adesanya.
mhm.
So I do see a finish. I see a finish for either of these guys. I think if it goes to the third, fourth round, even fifth round, I see Israel Adesanya, you know, kind of piecing in Joe Pyfer as it gets later on. You know, the dude who has been in multiple 5 round fights. This is what probably Joe Pyfer's second one. Is his second one,
Five
and
rounder?
his first. Yeah, his first one was against Hermanson, and I
Yep.
mean we saw what happened against Hermanson. You know, but overall, I'm not trying to talk down on my pick here. I'm just saying the stuff that are on the piece of paper that everyone can look at. Everyone's concerned about this, everyone's concerned about that. But that's how I feel about this fight. Regardless, I think we're gonna get a banger.
Yeah, let's look at props real quick. So Pi for KO, which is probably the most common side you're gonna be on for the Pyfer side. Plus 270 as it stands right now. Adesanya, same thing, the KO or the decision. I think he has two ways to win this. I think the longer this fight goes on, the more I worry for Pyfer. I think his gas tank is going to get really tested. If he doesn't get it early or in the the third, early fourth, I think he is going to be toast. Adesanya by decision plus 188. Adesanya by KO. I passed earlier. Plus 260. Yeah, this is a close one, guys. I don't know. Let us
I agree with you. I'm sorry. I don't.
You're good.
I'm sorry.
No,
Keep going.
it's all good. I was just gonna say, let us know in the comments what you guys got in this one because we're curious for sure.
I just want to say something really quick. You know, yes, if you're on the Piper side, you would be leaning towards the knockout. But one thing I have mentioned is Joe Pyfer has a lot more ways to win this fight than Israel Adesanya. Israel Adesanya, it's either knockout, decision. For Pyfer, he has one more. He has one more in his back pocket, and that is that submission win. Joe Pyfer, you know, he has wrestling background. He has that in his back pocket. And Israel Adesanya, what does he struggle with the most? Obviously, it's dudes who can imply that heavy wrestling. I think in this fight, that's what Joe Pyfer needs to do. He needs to bring this fight to where Israel Adesanya is uncomfortable, and he cannot allow Israel Adesanya to get a game plan going where, because I guarantee you, Izzy's game plan is probably to tire out Pyfer, play that touch and go, shell up against the cage, hit him with a quick counter, bounce out real quick. I think that's going to be the game plan for Joe Pyfer here is get this fight to the ground as quick as possible and kind of nullify all that kickboxing and striking, and especially the kicks coming from Israel Adesanya.
Mhm.
So just want to put that out there. Joe Pyfer plus 750 for submission, plus 750 for submission.
Juicy.
That is very juicy for a dude who is very crafty and has more ways to win this fight. So at the end of the day, I am going to be picking Pyfer by knockout, but look out for that submission win. Look out for that submission win.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry. That's
No,
that's
no.
that's 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 what I
You
got on the main
you
card.
are
That's what I got on the
excited.
main card.
I am excited.
I am very excited.
Yeah.
Before we get off of the odds webpage, let's go back to that real quick.
You wanna look at something?
I want to build a quick little parlay for you guys, before we break off, because one thing do want to mention, I mean, you can pull up the promo real quick. We're not showing our bet slips on here anymore. All of our bet slips are going to be in the Discord link directly above the QR code right here. Go ahead and scan it. It'll take you directly to the server, and it's free. We're not charging anything, like a lot of these other sportsbook guys, a lot of these guys who are giving out their odds or their picks, their parlays, their bets. We're not
For
charging you for that.
premium.
All we want is for you guys to come and join our community, help us grow, and come hang out. I mean, exactly like we say right there, we have watch parties, we post all of our clips, we even hang out and play video games and we just chill out, so it's completely free. Come check it out.
Yeah, if that QR code doesn't work, let me know. I might have to update it, but, if that doesn't work, there is a link in the description below, so that works. I know that's live for sure. So just let me know if that doesn't work. Yeah, with that being said, though, Z, how are we
Yeah,
feeling, man?
I feel great. I feel great. Before we leave though, I want to give you guys a quick little parlay. A quick little parlay, a little teaser,
Okay.
one that I'm real comfortable in. And if you want to take us to the best odds real quick, I want to build this, just give you guys a little peek of it. So, one thing I want to mention is that these past two events, we started doing a locks of the week and underdogs of the week. Me personally, my locks of the week are 2 for 2. I pick 4 fighters that I believe are the current locks. And one thing I'm going to start doing is doing a little bit of a bank builder parlay consisting of these locks. The odds aren't going to be juiced. They're not going to be crazy. They're going to be like plus 100, minus 100, but we're going to be putting at least 2 units on it. And as it continues through these events, we're going to take that profit and keep putting it on these same locks of the week for the next events throughout the entire year. So my locks of the weeks are Ignacio Bahamondes, and these are all money line. These are all money line. We're not taking any props, any method of victory. Ignacio Bahamondes, Chase Hooper, Navajo Sterling, and Michael Chiesa.
Let me find him. Dun, 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 dun. So many fights. Chiesa. Boo. Plus 129, so you're doubling.
You're doubling your money right there. And I guarantee you, if we were to add up all the fighters, I previous locks of the week, the odds would look pretty similar. So at this point, you'd well over 5 times your money at this point.
Mm.
So that is one thing I'm going to start doing now is my locks of the week. We're going to use them as a bank builder parlay. So look out for that at the end of our videos for Fridays, our betting videos, and look out for our odds, or I'm sorry, look out for our locks of the week and our underdogs of the week. Check out our other platforms. We use Instagram and TikTok. We've been real active on that recently. So check those out. We really appreciate it, guys. We really appreciate the love and support.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I don't have any plays for you guys because I don't wanna jinx them. I'm being superstitious. No, I'm kidding. I'll make something real quick. So what I got, it's similar to Z's. How do I get this off my screen?
I
Maybe
think
I
you
got
go up to the very top and
yeah, I gotta
clear it.
recheck it. So what I'm gonna build, it is where's UFC now? I'm gonna build the PNW parlay.
Oh, uh, to be fair, I am right there with Joe. I have this same exact one in my back pocket too. So,
So we're saying what actually Bahamas, I'm drunk. We
well,
are
to be fair, he's from Chicago. It's
yeah.
Northwest. I'm just kidding. It's not Pacific.
We got Hooper, we got Simone, and then let me scroll a mile. And then we got McKinney, we got Erosa, which is gonna be the one that juices this. We got Chiesa, which is gonna kill the juice. 1362.
Ah, it was at plus 1,000, and you added Kiesa, and it added plus three, or it
It
boosted
added
up
it, it,
to
it added a little.
added 100, added 100.
Yeah, take him out. It's still good. Yeah, I mean that's PNW. The only guy that you're really sweating, well, there's two guys you're obviously gonna sweat. You're gonna sweat Terrence McKinney because he's going in there with a round one or bust mindset, and you got Julian Erosa going against a dangerous striker. Hey, if all the PNW guys win, that is hype. That is what Seattle would go nuts for. We know Seattle is diehard fans for anything that they can get their eyes and spectator, anything they can do. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Oh yeah,
Is there anything
very
else you want to look
excited.
at, Z?
Nope, we're pretty much done. Pretty much done for the week. All we got left is fight day.
Yeah.
Hopefully you guys will be watching. Hopefully you guys will be there. But like we said, check out our Discord. We'll post all of our parlays, all of our bet slips, our live betting. We'll put it all in there. We might not be able to give you guys live updates, but you guys will get the updates on all of our parlays. We'll post them all in there. We won't hold anything back from you guys. So it's completely free. I don't know how many times we have to say it. It's completely free. And it takes you about like 30 seconds. So,
Yeah. Yeah. Don't be stingy. Do it. Yeah, we won't be in there for the watch party though, obviously, because we're gonna be there. We're not gonna be on our phones, fucking hanging out on Discord while we're in
yeah.
Seattle. I mean, I won't. Maybe Z will. I'm gonna be there watching it live, so my phone will not be in hand, but I may have a beer in hand. So
Oh, yeah.
that's all I'm worried about. But yeah, with that being said, though, guys, we appreciate you guys for watching. Best of luck this weekend for all you gentlemen. Stay cozy. We'll see you next week.